force being sent tonight to Iran and subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the complete, immediate, and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz, I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks. This will be a double-sided ceasefire. The reason for doing so is that we have already met and exceeded all military objectives and are very far along with a definitive agreement concerning long-term peace with Iran and peace in the Middle East. We received a 10-point proposal from Iran and believe it is a workable basis on which to negotiate. Almost all of the various points of past contention have been agreed to between the United States and Iran, but a 2-week period will allow the agreement to be finalized and consummated. On behalf of the United States of America as president and also representing the countries of the Middle East, it is an honor to have this long-term problem close to resolution. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Again, just seconds ago, before the deadline for attacks on Iran tonight, and it seems like a deal is in the making.
Disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed on this panel show are those of the individual speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of this channel, its affiliates, sponsors, or production team. This content is intended for informational and entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. We encourage respectful dialogue and critical thinking around the topics discussed.
Party. Why I like the new party? Number one, it's a group of people that's on a panel. We all have differences, but we all basically still come together at the end of the day. The new party for me is about unity. The new party for me is about educating people to the truth, letting people know what's been going on in our country. With that being said, shout out to the new party, man. We're going to keep it going with y'all.
Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
Hi, I'm Kim.
Jared Williams.
It's Mia.
I'm Jeff.
Ronan.
And we have 2 very special guests tonight. Andre's back in the building, but we also have Jeff and Ronan. Jeff, it is your first time on the new party. Let everybody know where they can find you and what kind of content you make.
Sure. So I'm on TikTok as my handle right there, Afraid of No One But God. It's my main account. On Instagram as Not Jeff Mack. It's my kick name, which is also being streamed at the same time. My kick name is just Jeff Mack, though. And yeah, I mainly am known on TikTok.
So, Jeff, I have a question. Do you make looks maxing content? Like, are you like a looks maxer like Clavicle? Because when I looked at your stuff, I was like, me and he looks like so in shape, looks maxing. Hey, and I mean that as a compliment. Like, you are buff, you are in shape. I tell you got all the girls.
No girls.
But no stunts like Clavicle, right? We're not like that kind. Okay.
No. I'm trying to promote like traditional values and things that will bring families together, not the clubbing, not the. I've been through that party scene and everything, and so it's not the way to go forward. It's not the way. It's not like a role model. Like you're supposed to be a role model as a man, and it's not doing that stuff. I call him out on his stuff sometimes.
Got you. Well, you're a very good-looking guy like Clavicle, so I will give you your props. But we're going to kick it off tonight talking about what Tucker Carlson had to say about Trump. As you guys saw in that first clip, Trump tacoed. I had a entirely different show planned. What was Trump going to do? I was going to be breaking news, I thought, of him bombing a civilization to the next smithereens, but that didn't happen. So let's watch Tucker Carlson and let's see what he had to say, because he definitely had a lot to say about President Trump this week. But leading up, Alex Jones has also been critical of him. So let's also hear what he has to say later.
We are not going to open the straits with the United States Marine Corps, the 82nd Airborne, or the Tier 1 operators that everyone on cable news seems to know so much about. The Tier 1 operators, Tier 1. Just guys, like some of the best guys actually in America could be killed in this. That's a better way to put it. It's a more real way to put it. They are not going to open the strait. And so unless somebody puts the brakes on right away, we're going to wind up in a place that we can't even imagine. not just Iran, us and the rest of the world. And so that means, because this is obvious to anyone who's paying any attention, that if you work in the White House or in the U.S. military, now it's time to say no, absolutely not, and say it directly to the president, no. In case you're thinking about using some weapon of mass destruction against the population of Iran, in whose name we liberated Iran, we killed their religious leader for their benefit. Do you remember that? This was last month. Those people who are in direct contact with the president need to say, no, I'll resign. I'll do whatever I can do legally to stop this because this is insane. And if given the order, I'm not carrying it out. Figure out the codes on the football yourself.
So this last few days, there has been a renewed calling for President Trump to be impeached. Mia, what's your thoughts? Do you think President Trump should be impeached, and what would that look like?
I mean, we wouldn't be able to get so lucky as to get him impeached, but at the same time, that leaves us with JD Vance. So we basically only have one impeachment. They're not going to impeach Trump, then impeach JD, then impeach Rubio, and impeach this person, impeach that person. You know, they're not going to do 20 impeachments until we get to somebody down the line that we like. So it's one of those things where you have to figure out the lesser of two evils right now, right? Because we still have a few years left of this presidency. So is Trump the lesser of two evils, or is JD the lesser of two evils? And people need to ask themselves that, because we only have the impeachment card once, and it's not even going to work until the blue wave happens in the fall. So impeachment probably won't happen until next year after January 20th, when everybody's sworn in and they have all the votes in both legislative houses in order to do that. So, I mean, and Trump has enough loyalists in his committees to where they're not going to go against him at this point in time because he's still in power. So I guess the better question would be, who's the lesser of two evils, Trump or JD?
Well, Alex Jones was a strong supporter of President Trump. He has now switched his tune, and he is calling for President Trump's impeachment. This is what he had to say.
The 25th Amendment is asked.
The problem is to get the 25th Amendment is harder than impeachment. You have to get 2/3 of the House and 2/3 of the Senate.
So what do we do?
Tackle Trump and pretend, let him pretend he's president, and publicly report that he's going through a health issue, and Vance take over. It literally needs to be something like that. It's that bad.
So, Andre, welcome back. Should the 25th Amendment be used on President Trump? You are a young guy. President Trump is 50 years your senior. Should age be it? I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of seeing sides of Biden, and I had a free Biden elderly abuse thing going on. Do you think it's quite that bad, or are we just not there yet?
I don't think we're there yet. I mean, getting the impeachment, I mean, you're still going to get the same Jewish cabal running the system. Doesn't matter. JD Vance, you're going to get Palantir, you're going to get all that garbage. So, you know, it's not even worth it. You're going to go and get these assholes who are even worse than Trump. I mean, Trump is the wild card sitting in the Oval Office. You know, he's going to do whatever he wants, but also he's going to do the bidding of the establishment, as Wesley's saying. Like, he's abandoned the entire MAGA movement at this point. MAGA's dead because the GOP took over the entire MAGA movement. It's completely gone. There is no MAGA anymore. So impeaching him doesn't really do anything. You're going to get JD Vance, and then you're going to get H-1B1 visas and shit. You're going to get, I don't want an Indian first lady, so I don't want none of that shit. I want the White House to be clean, you know, only for blacks and whites, not for smelly Indians. All right. Simple as that.
Fucking God.
And then we get Marco. Look at little Marco. That's really, when you know that, listen, when you get JD Vance and Marco Rubio running the country, the GOP's won. And that's the same, you know, AIPAC, you know, pro-Israel, evangelical bullshit that we've been listening to. It's going to be even worse times 10. So it doesn't really go anywhere good. And the same thing would happen if Kamala was in office. We're going to get the same shit either way. This was just it was always going to happen.
So, Jeff, am I safe to say you are conservative?
Yeah. I've always been conservative. Yeah.
Okay. So, should the 25th Amendment be used? And what do you think the future holds for JD Vance, Marco Rubio, like to Andre's point, if it is used?
I back him up fully on that. As much as I'm fully conservative, my support for Trump has gone out the window. I am a lawyer actually too, but I don't think the 25th should be used on Trump. I just don't think it's going to do anything. It's rendering it meaningless.
All right, we're going to get Ronan and Kimberly in here. Doesn't matter. There are some conservatives that say they don't care what Trump does. They're still not voting for Democrats. Let's watch.
Trump could drop a nuke and I'd still vote Republican over those people because they want to.
Fifth Avenue voter.
In some ways, I really am. But honestly, what they want to do is nuke our own country. You know, it's like the open border, what they're doing to children, all that stuff is still they would do it all if put back in power. And I think most Republicans know that, which is
okay. Kimberly, what is your thoughts? Like, what will it take for people to stop being tied to parties? Like, do you agree with what she said? Because I know you don't really like the Democrats either, even though you're more left-leaning. What do you think?
I don't know what it will take. I think as time goes by, I think both extremes get even more extreme. It's sad to see, but I think with the age of the internet, we see the war propaganda just getting worse and people clinging onto every word that these people say. Like, we didn't all read 1984. And so with the issue of like I think JD would be worse. I think he's more malleable. He's already shown that he'll bend over backwards with Donald Trump. We see the occasional Freudian slip. Sometimes he's crazy and he says things that he feels every once in it. So at least appreciate that. And then he's nice enough to be honest every now and then. But what I think the real problem that we're having here is that they should have impeached him when he bombed Iran last year during the 12-day war. That was impeachable. He should have been impeached and removed like this last year. But they're not going to do that. The Democrats are not going to do that because they do the same shit. They're going to go and try to impeach him on some silly thing that they know they're not going to get him on, that they know he's not going to get removed on, because that would implicate them as well, because they're two sides of the same coin, and there's not much daylight in between the Democrats and the Republicans when it comes to foreign policy. One of the reasons why I say Barack Obama was worse than Bush is because he was such a catastrophic failure, not just to this country, but humanity, because he should have been a response. But instead, he was more of an extension, a continuation of the same fucking foreign policy. And I remember Barack Obama said, we're looking forward, not backward. And they didn't prosecute any of the people that led us into the Iraq war. And now we see a lot of the same people leading us into the Iran war. And it's because they wouldn't even hold any of the people when it came out, when we were torturing people. They didn't hold even like mid-level CIA managers accountable for that. They didn't hold any accountability for them. So do I think that the Democrats now, the Democrats that still, by the way, say Barack Obama was the best president of my lifetime, supposedly, do I think they're going to hold any of the Republicans accountable? No, I don't. So I think at this point, we just need to break away from the two-party system. I've been saying that for years. I've been voting third party.
So, Ronan, are you going to be calling for President Trump to be have the 25th Amendment used? What's your thoughts?
No, I don't. I think that the 25th Amendment is a Republican bear trap. Here's the deal. If they do the 25th Amendment, that leaves Vance in place to be able to pardon him and protect him beyond the White House. Now, if they do that, he's also got a built-in defense. Oh, look, I was so incompetent. How could you hold me accountable? This, that, and the other. Is it a good defense? No, it's a Trump defense. It's gold-plated crap. But that's the maneuver, because if he actually allows the midterms to happen and they take control, the Democrats take control of the House and the Senate, and Kim's right, they've got no backbone whatsoever. I don't know how their jackets stay upright with no spine, but it's another standpoint. But the fact of the matter is that if the House and the Senate flips, all top three are going to be impeached out of the office. So what is he going to do? Risk prison? Because he knows he's got charges still waiting for him. The Jack Smith stuff can still come back on him. So the only thing they can do is by pleading this. Now, I'm a little bit older than some of you. You don't remember the mob bosses in New York City acting like as if they were dementia, crapping their pants and all this kind of stuff. They can't possibly face any kind of charges. Look at him. He'll have a perfect excuse. Look, I was so bad, they kicked me out of the office. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of a pardon, that Vance will protect him. Vance can protect him if he's president. So don't give him what he wants. That's my say.
Oh, all right. I was surprised by your take. I'm
wearing no kings. I mean,
I was too.
Well, I thought you were going to say use the 25th Amendment.
No, because it gives him what he wants. Look, we have to all listen. I know I'm going to sound like a conspiracy nut, but as I was going to say normally the token white guy. But the reality of it is this. every single time you go, there's no way that could be true. It turns out to be true.
Ronan, why you always talk about you being the white guy? I want to talk about this. Seriously, I want to talk about this because this really bothers me because you said that the second time around me, and we literally just met. Why do you always say that?
Because I am.
Why you gotta say that, bro? Okay, what's wrong with you being white?
There ain't nothing wrong with it, but I'm not exactly happy with my people
There we
right now,
go.
to be honest with you. I mean, I got
what is there not to be happy about your people?
Do we have an hour? Let's just go into it. Let's just stop from the fact. How about the fact that he's locking people into cages for doing the exact same thing his grandparents did?
Good.
How about that? How about the fact that we're talking about the fact we got people in cages right now while everyone's claimed to be pro-life and pro all of this?
What cages? What cages? Where are the cages?
Who built the cages?
What cages?
What cages?
Who built the cages?
What you'd call the concentration camps. How about the
concentration camps? Are concentration camps bad?
Yes.
How?
Oh God. It's bad. It's bad.
Listen, we'll go into
today, Andre.
We'll go into it.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me you're pro-slavery and I'm against slavery? Is that where we're at?
Who said I'm pro-slavery? Slavery? What are we talking? The white guy mentioned slavery. All typical, right? What are we talking about slavery for? You know, you're a little Jewish in a minute.
Do you want to know how white I am, Andrew? Do you want to know how white I am?
Andre, I can tell
Andre,
you.
Excuse me. I apologize. I might call you a bad name, but I don't want to screw up the actual name. No, I'm German English. So I literally had people that were either in the camps or working the camps. Okay.
Okay. I don't find the camps to be that bad, to be honest. I don't find the camps to be bad at all. When you study the history, the camps were necessary to get the Jews out of the country, which they already planned to do. Now, the bad actions came when certain more fanatical members of the NSDAP started killing people. That was the worst part, but getting them out was the necessary part. And this is how we get, honestly, the Jewish state of Israel anyway. I mean, I want Jews to live in Israel at the end of the day. I don't want them to live in our country.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't still understand what's wrong with it.
We're gonna get off of that.
I'm just asking, am I getting punked right now?
I know, I'm serious.
No.
I'm serious as shit.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now.
He hasn't met me.
I personally think Andre's a comedian. I'm
going to tell you.
He's a comedian.
I'm going to tell you something straight, Andre. I don't really care what color you are because we all bleed the exact same. So the fact is, whether you're Jewish or whatever, it doesn't matter because that's the problem I see with the Jewish religion is everyone says it's just like everything they are, but.
Jews aren't just a religion; they're a race as well. That's the whole thing that people forget.
But it's really not a race. That's the way.
Yes, they would tell you it's a race. Genetically, it's a race. Ashkenazi Jews, Sephardic Jews. I mean, they're a race. They've always proven themselves to be a race more than a religion. At the end of the day,
it is a race.
They stated this.
It is a race.
The way that they act, yes, they do try to make it seem like there's something better or more separate. I get that, but they're still human beings. They shouldn't, no matter what they are. I don't care. There's a certain level that it doesn't matter what their nationality, their race, the whole bit. There's no reason that we should have that.
See, that's where I have to stop you. This is when we get where white people are today, that they're not willing to acknowledge the reality of how things are. You know, I'm willing to acknowledge that race is real. It's a fundamental part of one's identity. I can make the distinction between myself and you, and also even Jews as well.
Okay, well, I don't know how we got here, but just so you realize, I think you're punking me a little bit.
Oh, we got here. We landed here pretty nicely.
All right. I say race, but like I've been told that we should say class as far as the class levels that are here, because honestly, we've got the first class, the top 99%, and there's the rest of us. You're talking about religion and this person, that, the whole 9 yards. But unless you've got $1 billion, this country doesn't give a shit about you. And that's a fact. The reality of it is the only people that when you hear Trump talk, and you hear him say, I made it easier to live and I've lowered taxes and I've done this, he's talking to the 1%. If all of us look at him, we go, what the hell are you talking about? Everything's 10 times expensive. But when you take and think he's talking just to the 1%, he's made their lives better. He's made their costs less. He's taken and used all of our money to try to better them while he's trying to protect himself in that Oval Office after he's been diddling kids like Laffy Taffy.
I'm going to say this. You know, you're right about the class part. That's very important. But it's race and class, and the majority of those at the 1% happen to be Jewish. So they overrepresent a lot of the wealth in this country. They happen to be Jewish. So we can't acknowledge, we can't talk about race, but we can talk about class, and then race is tied with that. You know, we see the one racial group is dominant in that position.
Well, let me ask you a question. How much of that is factored into the fact that you have now all Christian people in the White House right now? So right now, regardless of the Jews, we can push that to the side. It's white Christians mostly that are doing this to the rest of the people, and it's not like it's a race thing. You're right, because they're screwing white people, black people all over. It doesn't really matter, because unless you're that top 1%, this country is not for you anymore. So how do you feel about the fact that you've got Christians doing it? How about the fact that Trump, actually a Christian or claiming to be Christian, haha, for on the Sundays and the tax returns, was cutting SNAP to 42 million Americans, and he didn't give a shit what color they were.
I mean, I think that's good. I think that's good. You got the wrong one. I think that's a good thing. Good. Cut that fucking SNAP. If you know how black people are, cut that fucking SNAP.
So you're okay. So you're telling me that you're okay with spending, or not, you don't want to spend $137 a year out of your tax dollars for that, but you were okay with good and what's the other guy's name? Getting shot on the streets by ICE, because you paid for that too.
So yeah. So 1,000%, I'll pay for that. Yeah, I'll pay for that, because guess what? The people coming to my country illegally are a net negative on society compared to both are a net negative. Me giving fucking EBT to Shaniqua and Tyrone to do nothing and be unproductive black people, that's a net negative. And having people illegally come here and be abused by multinational corporations is a big problem.
We're diving into a totally unrelated subject. We're circling the drain.
Yeah, let's bring it back.
You right now, I definitely think that you and I need to do a live, because honestly, oh God, I'll buy you dinner. God damn it. I'm not putting out, but I'll buy you dinner.
I was not expecting this friendship to brew. I really was not. I'm going to be honest with you. But
see,
Andre,
I'm playful when I'm not told to shut up.
I've traded one white in that did not like you for another one that did, Andre. So you can buy me that dinner.
No, because I'm going to tell you, I'll tell you to you straight. I love hearing.
Not white. He's Italian.
I want to hear everybody's opinion. And I can't believe that. And if we're going to say race for a second, let's just be funny for a second. Just for race. I can't believe I'm the white guy telling that slavery is bad. And he's like, no, that's cool, dude. Let's just keep it going. Like I
didn't say that slavery was good. I didn't say slavery was good. I will say.
But hold on, you are technically saying slavery is good, because right now in those camps that you say are so great, they've got people doing work for pennies on the dollar while they're being waited to be deported. And the thing of it is this: realize this. Less than 20% of the people that are being locked up in cages right now have no criminal record at all. So that idea of that they're getting the
criminal records that they came here to this country.
Can you guys hear me?
The criminal records they came here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. We're gonna go to the next topic.
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna stay on topic because we're talking about Iran. But since you guys like people that kind of like anti-Semitic a little bit, sounds like, I'm going to play you one of the biggest anti-Semites and what he had to say about Trump's tweet.
Oh, is this
He said, quote, Tuesday will be power plant day and bridge day, all wrapped up in one in Iran. There will be nothing like it. Open the fucking strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell. Just watch. Praise be to Allah, President Trump. And I don't know about you, but I saw this yesterday. And like Marjorie Greene and like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and everybody else, this is disturbing. It's actually sickening. And I'm not that guy. I think you know that about me. I'm not really one to be a bleeding heart or to clutch my pearls or to be sanctimonious about this sort of thing.
He's wearing pearls?
But it's everything about this. It's everything about it. It's bad enough that we are in a war in Iran without a reason, without a plan B, an exit strategy, a plan. It's not enough that we're being lied to about it, that we're doing it for Israel. Americans are dying, and Trump is totally flippant about that. But it's Easter Sunday. It's literally the holiest day of the year, and this is what you post? Not Happy Easter, not Christ is risen, nothing. You threaten to bomb Iran, which is bad enough by itself, but then it's the profanity. Open up the fucking strait, you crazy bastards. Tomorrow we're bombing all your infrastructure. And then mocking God. And then praise be to Allah. And then mocking God in the middle of it as well. And this is when you realize Trump is evil. He's not a bad president. He's not surrounded by bad advisors or bad personnel or people that are disloyal or not giving him good advice. I've been trying to say this for years. It's him. He is the problem. He has always been the problem. This entire time, any way you want to cut it. It's not the people under him. It's not the people around him. It's not people failing him. It's him. And it's him at his core. It is because he is a completely hollow and wicked person. Who else, what other kind of person could say something like this? And it would be bad enough if you were a Fox News talk show host. You expect this kind of thing from Mark Levin. You expect this kind of thing from Laura Loomer. These people have darkened minds and darkened souls, and they are shock jocks, and their business is to offend the conscience of everybody to get attention because their message is repugnant and no.
So, Jeff, what is your thoughts on what he said? What do you think about Trump's tweet? Was it disrespectful? Was it too much? Do you think it was good timing? What do you think?
Oh, poor timing, especially on Easter. That's the thing I agree with Fuentes on for sure. Yeah, it just could have been. It was just. I think it was a terrible move for his base or for anyone, or the majority of the country, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was offended as a follower of Christ. I just came back from my early Sunday morning's worship, and I read this disgusting tweet. Also, as somebody that has family members that are Muslim, I think it was disrespectful to their religion. What do you think about the direction that the country is going in, Kim? Do you think that we are eroding freedom of religion? Oh, whoops.
Is that me?
Yeah, that's you.
Sorry.
Okay. Are we eroding freedom of religion? What do you think?
I think so. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go back on. I'm having Wi-Fi issues. 1 second.
Okay, I'm going to get Mia in here. Mia, what do you think? Because we talked about that this morning. Do you think we're eroding freedom of religion at this point?
Yeah, I think we're eroding a lot of freedoms. I mean, I had posted the FBI, their proposed budget for 2027, page 13, contains a lot of, they're switching their mission. So the FBI is usually reactive. So technically things happen and then they react to them. And now they're being proactive and they want to exponentially quadruple their surveillance of American citizens. So it's right in their 2027 their proposed requested budget from Congress, page 13. So they want to surveil us, and what they consider extremism, even though they don't go into detail of how extreme or what you have to say. Basically, if you are not a neocon, if you are not an evangelical Christian, basically you're fucked. They are going to surveil you and they consider you an enemy of the state and a domestic terrorist. And that is a direct infringement on the First Amendment, because people should be able to at least say, I don't agree with something. I understand the First Amendment has that caveat where you can have repercussions for that. You can lose your job, you can do this, but people should still be able to say, I don't agree with what is happening. And now it's to the point where they're going to proactively attack Americans, and they are expanding their surveillance, obviously through Palantir and whatnot, and OpenAI and all these new contracts we've signed. So we can essentially kiss goodbye any privacy that we have. This administration is going full surveillance state. And part of that is in their FBI proposed budget.
Before we go to the next topic, I'm going to ask everyone, do we think that President Trump will stick to the 2-week ceasefire, or do we think something is going to mess it up? Jeff, I'll let you go first.
Well, I was just going to say, after Mia said all that, as soon as I started talking about the Jews on TikTok, I was trending, crashed. And then I lost my account. And then I talked against Bill Gates on my backup account. I lost that account. So I had to bring both accounts back. That's like 750,000 followers on 2 accounts that I've just lost due to the Jews. And the surveillance is worse and worse. And yeah, it was like ever since they changed ownership at the beginning of March, my views just went into the ground. And I just stopped talking about it completely because I can't risk my account. Sometimes I get paid for it, but I'm demonetized right now. Naturally.
We need to start the demonetized club. Talk to Ronan.
I just got demonetized on X. Think about how wild I got demonetized on X, and X is a wild fucking place where you can watch porn and shootings, and I got demonetized.
on X.
Yeah, the moment I started talking about the Jews, boom, there we go. My Instagram, the last one I had, all my videos about the Jews gone, boom.
So I
300K gone.
Black people, they push it out, Andre. That's
So they push, and guess what?
Yeah.
The funny part is that Jews will come in and say, I followed you until like you start talking about the Jewish people. It's like, okay, thank you, Goldberg, for letting me know that you're only here when we talk about each other. Thank you for showing that you play both sides. I love it. But yeah, it's like, oh, here, I bet he's Jewish. I bet your client is like a hidden heave in the comments. I can tell. With this Sunday, he was at Sabbath.
I will say I'm still monetized, but I have been stuck at 30,000 followers for months now. It's not increasing, which tells me I'm just like not hitting algorithms. I mean, I should be getting way more views, and I can barely get like 300 views. I'm wicked suppressed. But I will say, to Jeff's credit, I have noticed ever since those who shall not Oracle purchased TikTok, it has been completely different. It's been different since it went that blackout that first time, and then we came back after like a day or two. It was kind of different after that. But I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I really do miss my CCP China person watching my algorithm. I miss them. I really miss them. TikTok was a better place when the CCP was watching us. I hate to say that, but I mean, when the Chinese were watching us, it was a better place. I had more fun. My content was better. I was making money. I mean, like, I was making money, and now it's like nothing. It's like, damn, man.
My spy contacted
a really bad
me.
joke, but I'm not going to. I don't want us to get demonetized on this.
Kimberly, what do you think? Will the 2-week ceasefire hold, or will something mess it up?
I think Trump is unhinged, but I think Israel will mess it up.
Oh, 100%. They already have their next planned attack. Every time Trump says, oh, we're closer, oh, we're talking, literally the very next day, Israel does an attack. Literally the next day. It's happened 5 times so far.
Right. And just, for my sake, when I say Israel, I mean the government. I mean the extreme right wing, Likud.
Kimberly, did your friend reach back out to you? So just so everyone knows, we'll play it at the end, but a really big name has a beef with Kimberly. Older millennial has put his teeth in you. He's made 3 videos now talking about you. And he called you, what did he call you? He called you a Zoomer.
He called me Gen Z, and I said, thank you very much. I said, we could be friends. Because he called me Gen Z. I said, I really appreciate
You know what that means.
That means I'm young.
That means. How old is? No, that means that he wants you. That's what it is. He's trying to hit on you. This is like some fucking classroom shit. I'm gonna pick on this girl. This is some classroom. Dude, come on, get better game, dude.
I heard he's hung like a field mouse. Your belly button's in trouble.
I think I need to be, Andre, I need to be a little bit more like you, and you need to be a little bit more like me. We need like some balance, because he called me in on his live after I sent him a video, and I was on my way to the gym and I wasn't prepared, and he was just like attacking me, and I froze up. I looked so stupid. I need to make a response video to him, because I think he was drunk, and his energy.
I've interacted with him briefly, and I ratioed him every fucking time.
He's a very bad energy.
I can't stand it. I hope he hears this. Older millennial, you're a fucking loser, dude.
He did it to get to you, because you were in the
you're
video.
a fucking loser. Yeah, you're a Jew bootlicking loser. All right, that's what you are. Older millennial. Your videos are low
religion,
low energy.
Andre? Because we asked him, he says he's not a Christian. What is he? Is he Jewish? I'm not trying to be funny, but he wouldn't answer.
Listen, if he isn't a hidden heave, he's probably like, he's probably like, I'm a Christian, but I'm not like the non-denominational. I'm spiritual people. He's probably one of those people.
We asked him.
He said he's
I
not a
asked
Christian.
him on the live, and he also said he doesn't know Enzo, because I messaged him and I said, hey, I made a video about you.
Saying his name, please.
Oh, sorry.
Like, stop saying his name. No, for real. Like, please.
The Italian, the Mario and Mario, we'll do that. Mario, sadly, Luigi called him back to the plumber apartment and shit. So we won't talk about the Italian question. But older millennial, I don't fucking know who he is. I don't like him. I don't like anyone from that crowd, older millennial, all these like conservative people on Twitter. They're fucking lame, dude. And you can tell that they're bought and they're paid for. It's so obvious with these people. Like it's obvious that they're being paid something. They're being given some incentive to make the content they do, and it's tiresome. This isn't 2018 anymore. You guys are boring as fuck.
Yeah, they're not very good at it. I was telling Nora, if they want to pay me, I'll do a much better job than them. Please, somebody pay me.
Gray, as somebody that actually served and did combat, thank you for your service. Do you think this 2-week ceasefire will last, or will something mess it up? What's your thoughts?
I didn't do combat. I was IT. But with Trump, you never know what Trump is going to do. You guys say Trump is the perfect negotiator. It's the art of the deal. So maybe he's holding his cards. Maybe this is all some big scheme. I don't know what it is with Trump. Because if you talk to a Trump supporter, they're going to say, oh, Trump can't tell you what he's really thinking because that hurts his negotiating skills. So who knows with Trump? I have no idea.
Can I say that the people who we can't talk about totally got me, because for some reason my mic and camera cut off after we're having this anti-Semitic conversation. Legitimately just cut right off. I can't get it to work. I have to, like, now I'm streaming off my phone. They got me, guys. I'm compromised.
That happened to me a couple of years
ago. Ronan, what's your thoughts? Will this ceasefire last, and where do you think the long outcome of this war will be? Because I know you have a lot of thoughts on the Iran war.
I think it's all distraction and it's pageantry. I think that either someone's got the pictures of him blowing Bubba, and Bubba could be a horse or a guy hung like a horse. I don't know, but it still doesn't change the fact that we're in a war that we can't afford. And he's all of his tirades, all of this thing, all this energy he's putting out is just showing how ill equipped he is to actually serve this country or, be leading this country. So does it last a long time? Until finally someone removes him from office, because this is the only thing keeping him from, the files being released, which would really show everything. Because you know what? The funny thing is that everyone keeps talking and hating on Jewish people, but realize this: where does all the money go? Jewish people know where all the money is. So before you decide to put all in the camps and get rid of them, let's use them, as you would say, to get where and find out all the money is. Because if anybody can find where all the money is and where the money went and try to show how everybody actually is tied together, it'll be the Jewish people, because they can find money no matter what. So the reality is that if we want the files to be released, we have to get out of this war so that everyone can start focusing on what needs to be done. Because every single day that we've got people in the war fighting this war, no one's paying attention to what's going on with the e-files. And those e-files, the last 3 million, is all holding back bank records and everything else. So like I says, all you got to do is tell them that they're going to get 25% of all the money they'll find, and you will find every banker from here to hell, all of the Jewish ones as well, that will find out not only where the money is, why there's money going through, and why there's still millions of dollars going through his estate, like as if business is going on. And how the hell was he convicted of trafficking if he wasn't trafficking 2 people? And the money will tell us where all of these people are, and probably all the leverage that's kept Trump in position for as long as he had will wind up being gone, because now all of the people that he's been, holding over, they'll all have to fess up.
I just want to say this. The only thing I want to say is that the files don't matter anymore. The files this is what we've been doing to blackmail your politicians, your celebrities, your bankers, all your influential people, because we're going to push for war in the Middle East and become a world power. So the files don't really matter. I mean, the files is like, we get the remaining 3 million. No one's going to go to jail because all these people are protected. And at the end of the day, they get what they want. And we're seeing that right now. So it doesn't really matter. Like I've said this multiple times, the files was a distraction or kind of an admittance of this is what we've been doing. That's it. Honestly, that's it.
Yeah, but the files might be exactly what's got us into this war in the first place, because Israel might have all of it, and he's so goddamn scared to have any of this come out that's the thing. Remember something. You say that the files don't matter. They mattered to the one guy who's been mentioned more times than any character in Harry Potter's series or the words themselves. He's been mentioned more times than all the words in the Bible. So the reality is that he's the guy who's in charge of all of this. He's the guy that's protecting it, and he's trying to protect himself. He doesn't give a shit about anybody else. He just wants to make sure his white ass doesn't go to jail for the rest of his life.
Jeff,
period.
What do you think the reason is for the war? Do you think it's due to the Epstein files, or what do you think it is?
I mean, I more so think it's a distraction than it being a direct result of the Epstein files. And then obviously it just culminated in so much Jewish exposure, what else are they to do but try to buy us yet again and get us working for them?
Go ahead, Mia.
So I think, and I talked a little bit earlier with Gray about this morning. So I think part of the reason that we're in Iran is, I think the majority of it has everything to do with the government of Israel and the ruling class, because Israel has an agreement with Saudi Arabia to take out Iran and all of the others, which would leave Israel and Saudi Arabia basically the two superpowers in that region. And I say that because if you look at Jared Kushner, who was sent as one of the diplomats, the negotiators to negotiate on behalf of Americans, with the Iranians for the ceasefire and, the nuclear deal and all that stuff, obviously it's a really weird person to send, considering Jared Kushner's family is Mossad, and Bibi Netanyahu used to actually sleep at Jared Kushner's family's house in New Jersey when he used to visit the United States frequently, especially in the 80s and 90s. So they have a very long history together. And then when Jared Kushner left the White House after Trump's first term, the first thing he did was start a private equity fund. And one of the largest donors to that private equity fund was the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. So I think it is the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And the Saudi Arabians are utilizing the Israelis because the enemy of my enemy is my friend. And they want to eliminate Iran. And then they'll take out the other smaller, less powerful countries. That way, at the end, it's going to be Saudi Arabia and Israel standing for their final battle, and they'll battle each other. But for right now, they want to eliminate all of the other movers and shakers in the region.
Wow.
And the money actually supports this theory. If you follow the trails of money to where the crown prince spends his money, and all of these movers and shakers and the private equity funds and the way they spend their money kind of supports this a little bit. I don't think they want anybody to know they're working together, but the Saudis are definitely working with the Israelis on the DL.
Well, we're going to switch gears. We're going to go to the last topic of the night. This topic is for Andre. Andre, you talk about the degeneracy of Black culture